Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So in this short video, I'm going to talk about the newly officially announced on Twitter from MiHoYo, the new banner for the Polar Star. Okay, it's out already. So let's just go into it. But before we begin, please make sure you subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell, leave me some comments and questions about the game. So let's get started. Okay, so right before this video, I also want to quickly let you guys know I talked about the child banner, the child rerun banner number 2 / child's third banner overall, and talked about the characters on there, Ninguang, Chongyun, and Faye. Please check out that video as well, because I talk about whether or not you should pull or skip and my experiences with each of the characters. Okay, so now we're going to get into this one. So first of all, with the Polar Star, which obviously I don't have yet, because it's not out yet, but the Polar Star is an awesome, amazing bow. It will be child's best in slot bow. The information is officially available already, as per what has been tweeted out by MiHoYo officially. So it's all out there, and I've already talked about it on a pre-release analysis basis, and also answered your questions in the comments section as well. But please feel free to go check out that video, okay? So, long story short, is that enough just to get go for this weapon banner? It could be, depending on if you want to level up your child or not, or if you're going to even go for child, okay? But let's talk about the other weapons on the banner first. So, Memory of Dust is a catalyst that has already appeared on, I think, from my memory, they already appeared, I think, on 2 different banners previously. Memory of Dust is essentially a catalyst version of, I'm going to bring it up here, of the Unforged, which is the weapon that we all lost the 50-50 on for the Engulfing Lightning. So basically it's from the same series. It is a Geo Li Yue series weapon, okay? So it will have the same thing on the passive here. That's why I'm leaving this on the screen. It will increase your shield strength by 20%. Scoring hits on opponents will increase your attack by 4% for 8 seconds. And the maximum of 5 stacks, which means 20%. This can only occur every 0.3 seconds. While protected by a shield though, this attack increase effect is increased by 100%. Therefore, it becomes 40% at R1. So, that catalyst is going to be a pretty solid catalyst, let me just say. So if I'm going to exit from here and just go to any catalyst user, okay, and by the way, I'm on Ninguang because she is going to be on the next child rerun banner, officially, and actually, the Memory of Dust was technically Ninguang's best in slot catalyst, because it's a Geo weapon technically, right, and it's meant to be her catalyst. Now, of course, when Ninguang was first announced way back when she first came out, and that weapon was there, of course, not everyone went for the Memory of Dust, but obviously if you lost the 50-50, you may have gotten that one instead. And that's okay. Because when Ninguang came out, I think she came out when Zhongli and all that came out, so that was way back. But anyway, this weapon comes back here and then, and it is an attack substat weapon, just like the Unforged, as I was just on, right? So like it will be base attack plus attack percentage. So then like on Ninguang, it will be equivalent to like maybe the Jodoko Tails for those of you who did 1.6 patch, right? It will not be equivalent to the ones that have crit rate here, so it won't be equivalent to those. It will be better than the Eye of Perception, and the Eye of Perception actually is one of the 4-star weapons that will be on this weapon banner as well. So I'll talk about that just right after this. Definitely it's not comparable to these Elemental Mastery catalysts, and it's not comparable to any crit damage or crit rate one, or the energy recharge one. So really, it's comparable to Dodoko Tails, so not everyone has it. If you're a completely new player after 1.6, so you won't have this because this was an event exclusive DLC weapon for that event, and so it's not available anywhere else. So with that being said, is it worth it just for these 2 5-star weapons, the Memory of Dust and the Polar Star? Maybe, because the Memory of Dust, although is Ninguang's best in slot, who else could it work on? As you can see, I put my Dodoko Tails on Lisa. Lisa is not necessarily a charge shot catalyst user, so that's why I would put it on her. Attack percentage is also good on Mona. However, Mona can do better with a Widsith, FYI. Sucrose only likes Elemental Mastery, so Sacrificial Fragments is basically her best in slot, okay? And I don't care for Kokomi, but Kokomi is an HP percentage scaler, so she's only good with 3 weapons. Thrilling Tales, the prototype Amber, which is a craftable, and her own Everlasting Moon Glow, which I don't recommend going for on the current weapon banner before it leaves, okay? So really, that leaves these characters, right? So depending on if you guys are new players, you're not going to have Klee because she was on 1.1 and she was also on 1.6. So if you're completely new, you won't have her. So you don't have to worry about that. Ninguang, she has not been on a banner for a while, but she was in the previous month's Paimon shop for those of you that did pick her up. So she is a very solid character, and I already talked about that in the child rerun banner discussion. So again, go check that out. But basically, she is a DPS or sub DPS depending on how you use her, and you want her to attack hard, basically. So that's why she's a crit rate or crit damage type of girl. So hence, I give her a crit rate book. Okay. Yanfei is also on the banner, and she is also an attacker. Although her multipliers are low, but she is definitely a hardcore attacker. These two women do not have energy issues, so you want them to attack and maximize their DPS window time. So hence, with an attack percentage catalyst such as Memory of Dust, it really can only go to Lisa. If you use her, most people don't, and that's fair. Or maybe to Mona if you turn her into like an attacker. But again, Mona can also do well with the Wit Sith, which comes back very often on many banners. Okay, and Barbara also is another catalyst user, but she's an HP scaler as well. So there aren't that many other catalyst users right now, but there are maybe potentially, and this is not leaks, but there's likely going to be new catalyst users coming in the future, obviously, right? So even if you lost the 50-50 for the Polar Star and you got the Memory of Dust, don't worry, just leave it in your inventory and eventually maybe someone will be able to use it. Or if you go for the child banner and you claim a Ninguang and you build her up and you got the Memory of Dust, then give that to her. She will be fine with that too, okay? So just so we're clear, because because the Memory of Dust has a shielding aspect to it and it increases the damage, so that's okay too. So keep in mind that's okay too. If you have Klee and if you have Yanfei, just so we're clear, Yanfei is on the current banner, but if you have these characters and you don't have like say these crit rate or crit damage weapons, that's okay too. Give the Memory of Dust to them. It won't be their best, but it will still be pretty good. Okay, moving along to the 4-star weapons. So on the weapon banner, the 4-star weapons are the Rust. My Rust, it was previously used on my Hartagli. I've talked about that many times already in my child review as well. So do check it out, and my Polar Star review as well, pre-analysis review. So do check those out, those videos. They're very important. But Yoimiya is currently rocking the R5 Rust, and she's loving it. Trust me, she's loving it. I highly recommend you guys to get the Rust if you can and get it to high refinements and put it on characters that require normal attack damage, basically. So Yoimiya, Child would be good. So Ganyu is definitely a charge attack girl. You could put it on Kujosara, but you probably wouldn't use her that way. You could put it on Aloy, but you probably wouldn't use her that way. You could put it on possibly Fischl as well. That's okay too. Venti wouldn't use it that way. Amber could, but no one really uses Amber. Okay, so Rust is a pretty solid weapon, and again, there could be future bow characters, so it's a solid weapon. There is a Favoria Sword and a Favoria Lance. I'm just going to talk about them in a very general way. Favoria weapons are basically like your I guess placeholder weapons in case until you get something better, okay? So not every character has energy issues and not every character needs Favonius weapons, but they're good to have, so just keep them on hand, right? So like let me quickly go to a sword user here. So like I have them sitting around, like I try to level them in an early game, but then eventually you get better weapons and they'll just sit there, okay? And that's okay, you know? That's okay. You know, and that goes for the same for the lance as well, the Favonius lance. Again, I tried to level it, but then I got better weapons, so that's just that. If you don't have better weapons, that's okay too. They are solid weapons, energy recharge. It just means that you can alt spam more often whatever character that you're putting them on. So that's fine, they're universal. Moving along. Okay, so the Eye of Perception is a really old-ass weapon. It's been around since the beginning of time, beginning of this game, okay? Now, I had mine leveled up because I didn't have better weapons at that time, but it's just sitting here. Now, I contemplated just foddering this. However, with the expectation that there must be new characters coming down the road, no leaks here, that are possibly Catalyst users, and maybe they can use this Jolt of Lightning in the passive here, right? So maybe this could be okay for them as a 4-star weapon that I don't have to further level. I might have to level it to like 80 or whatever, 90, but like that's why I decided to keep it, okay? It's just a base attack and attack percentage weapon, and it's okay. It's not the best. Definitely it's okay. It's a co-PM weapon, but like it's something for now. I don't know what the new characters are going to be like, but I'm keeping it just for now. But if you guys get this new and you never had it before from this weapon banner, just keep it in your inventory. You can obviously refine it up if you want and just leave it, and you don't have to level it up. Just leave it, okay? Unless you have nothing better to give your characters, then this could be something that you could give, again, to the attack-focused characters. Yanfei, Lisa, Ninguang, Klee, Mona, right? You could potentially give it to any of them, and that should be okay too. But of course, if you're going to pull on this weapon banner and you're lucky and you get the Memory of Dust, of course, that's way better. Okay, and lastly, the Akuoumaru, the new Claymore, right? It's a limited series Claymore. I already did a pre-analysis review of that specific sword, Claymore sword already, great sword. So please check that video out. I released that yesterday, okay? So please feel free to ask any questions. I already did a comparison with the Luxurious Sea Lord, and previously I already compared the Luxurious Sea Lord to the Unforged, okay? So check those videos out as well. But long story short, the Akuoumaru is going to be a solid weapon once you get higher refines. However, getting higher refines is not guaranteed on a weapon banner because the weapon banner is a scam, and it is very risky. So just be pulled with that in mind, okay? However, if you're super lucky and you get like a high refine, and when I say high refine, I mean like R3 and up, so R4 and R5, then maybe you consider using that, okay? But if you get something low refined, because for example, like this is an R3 lithic blade. This is also a limited series weapon. I did not bother leveling this up, okay? Similarly, I had the lithic spear. I only got R2 on it. I didn't bother leveling it up, okay? And previously I had I talked about this in my 4-star weapons, should you use them as experience fodder, right? I got rid of my Wine and Song, my Alley Flash, and my Alley Hunter because all of them were at R1, maybe one of them was at R2, and I didn't bother with them and I wasn't planning to ever use them. Someone laughed at me in the Reddit comments and said that they said that I was dumb for doing that. I don't care, it's my account, obviously, duh. And honestly, I'm not going to use those weapons because I got 5-star weapons, so please. Like, I'm not trying to be braggy here, but I'm just saying, like, obviously I know what I'm doing, okay? Because, like, if I had better options, I wouldn't need that other stuff. It doesn't matter if they're 4-star limited series, who cares? If they're crap, right? In my opinion, they are. So that's why I got rid of those. Now, the reason why I'm not getting rid of the lithic ones is because they might come back, and then, if I get them to higher refines, I might level them up, I might or may not, who knows, right? They could be something I can fodder in the future anyway. So anyway, the Akuoumaru will fall in the same trap here, okay? If you get it at low refines, I can tell you right now, it's not going to be as good as, what was I? I was on, okay. It won't be as good as your R5 Luxurious Sea Lord. Please go get your Luxurious Sea Lord to R5 right now before Moonlight Merriment Moonchase Festival ends. Please make sure that you take advantage of the 1.5%, 1.5 times experience bonus for leveling it up because it's discounted for you right now. So make sure you do that, okay? So, my conclusion. If you are going to get child, or if you already have child, and if you are going to get Ninguang, or if you already have Ninguang, or you have some main DPS, let me see. If you have some main DPS like catalyst users, right, that you don't mind losing the 50-50 and getting the Memory of Dust for, go for this banner, okay? People have asked me if other characters can take advantage of the Polar Star's passive, which is already officially out, by the way. Okay, the passive basically requires you to have 1 normal attack, 1 charge attack, 1 elemental skill attack, and 1 ultimate burst attack, okay, in order to get the maximum 4 stacks, okay? So the only character that can right now, because it's in slot for child for a reason, because in his rotation, you'll use all 4 of those types of attacks. That's why you could get the max stacks for him. But although right now my child is using Thundering Pulse, and it's actually Yoimiya's best in slot weapon, but it's better on child in my case, and she's doing fine with the R5 Rust, right? So like people said, is it the reverse possible? Can you give the Polar Star to Yoimiya? The answer is no. The reason why is because she will not take advantage of charged attacks, right? And if you take the time to do that, you're wasting your DPS window because you want to smash and machine gun her normal attacks. So that's 1 stack less that you're not going to get. And her ult is kind of useless. So then but that's fine. Let's just pretend that you do use her ult whenever it's up. That's fine. So then that's 1 stack there and 1 stack for the normal attack, right? And her elemental skill doesn't hit enemies unless you stand near them when you activate it, and then it burns them. So therefore, you're only going to get a maximum of 3 stacks if you're lucky. If not, you only get 2 out of 4. So hence, the Polar Star is not going to be good for Yoimiya. I can just tell that right now. Okay? And so because of that reason, you have to think carefully now. Of these other bow users, I'm not going to go into each of them. Are you actually going to use all 4 of the attack types available? Maybe not. Hence, the Polar Star is actually a very niche weapon, specifically for child and child lovers. So that's why I'm also on the fence, to be honest, if I'm going to pull on that banner. But I'll let you guys know, and you guys will see in a few days if I do. I'll definitely post a video if I do, so stay tuned. So anyway, hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and if you liked it, please like me, please subscribe, please ask me questions, please interact with me. Please check out my other videos as I go into a lot of depth there. I'm going to do future videos this week talking about the individual characters in more detail that are coming up on this next banner, which are Ninguang, Yanfei, and Chongyun. And as promised, I'm going to do one for Eula and Xinyan as well, so stay tuned for all of that. And I'm going to redo some of the previous review videos as well to update them a little bit as well, so stay tuned. There's lots of content coming, so stay subscribed, hit the notification bell, like, and also leave comments and questions. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.